Hello, everyone, and welcome to our final session of the day, which is our pitch competition. Hopefully you've been around all day long, as it has been an awesome day. Cool. So another huge thank you to today's sponsors, CNA, Baker McKenzie, Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, as well as Bank of America. For those of you here with us, as I said earlier, hope that by now you've grabbed your favorite beverage, a pen and paper for notes. Be sure you use the chat function to share your thoughts, feedback, and questions for the participants. You should also be able to, at the bottom of your screen, there should be a button that says reactions. So when you hear something you love, you can clap those hands, you can shoot up a thumbs up, or you can just type yes real hard in the chat section, and everyone will know what you said. So be sure to do that. Last but not least, again, I don't think I've seen anyone eating all day. So as a final reminder, don't forget to order food from Jules on Halstead, Carnival, or America's Dog and Burger. Be sure to email your receipt to me, and you'll be able to get reimbursed up to $10 for your order. So with that, I am excited to go ahead and dive on in. With that, I would like to turn it over to our board member, John Lashman, to set up our board challenge for today. Sean. Let's see what's going on. Over there, I see. I see you. I don't see a way to unmute you, though. Oh, there we go. I see those little buttons. Oh, it didn't went away.
All right, I'm unmuted.
All right.
Finally. Technology and I have greeted each other.
Thanks.
Can you see my picture? Or is it just this, John Lashman?
We can see your video, John.
So I'm to start?
Yes.
So thank you for everybody for joining our final session of the day. My name is John Lashman. I'm a principal at Eye Candy Marketing, a certified LGBT business in Illinois. And I'm also a member of the board of directors on the chamber, on the Supplier Diversity Committee. So to start our day off, COVID has had a grave impact on businesses of all sizes and industries. These interruptions have created many unique challenges for companies, meeting and working virtually, team engagement, professional development, socially distanced office setups, operations, technology, security, and infrastructure, and much more. As an innovative business owner, you and our pitch contestants are aware of these challenges and others, and are ready to respond with solutions. Based on what they know, contestants are asked to communicate a challenge that has developed due to COVID and how their company is a source in solving the problem for for businesses or everyday consumers. Their presentation should communicate effective research, strategy, and presentation. Based on participant feedback, we have expanded the time to be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Participants will be able to watch their time via the countdown on Jerome's screen. To be eligible for participation, participants today must be active LGBTCC members, LGBT and LGBT business enterprise, or willing to complete certification to access prize. The owner must participate, and the pitch can be no longer than 5 to 10 minutes. The scoring today will be based on ideation, 20 points, pitch, 10 points, entrepreneurship, 20 points, overall impression, 10 points. Participants, you will get to introduce yourself in just a few minutes, but any questions before we get started? No? Okay, back to you, Jeremy.
Good. Thank you so much, John, and super excited to have you with us. Hopefully you got to see Billy on earlier, rocking it in the
Yes, I did.
Now I'd like to give the opportunity for our pitch judges to introduce themselves. First I will go with Keisha Thomas.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for inviting me to be a judge. I am extremely excited. My name is Kendra Thomas, and I serve as the Business Resource Manager for ShyBiz Hub. It's an initiative for World Business Chicago, and we are actually looking to ensure that all of our business resource providers in the Chicago area are listed on ShyBiz Hub to help our entrepreneur community. And we have actually been in existence, ShyBiz Hub, for about 1.5 years now, so it's a fairly new initiative.
So much, Kendra. Next, we'll go with Robin Hicks.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. I work for BP, which is a global energy company. We do many things, and one of the things that I'm involved with at BP is our BRG. So I'm an advisor to our Pride BRG in the United States, and I've had the pleasure of working with Jeremy, John, and others at the Illinois Chamber.
Great, thank you so much, Robin. Then we'll go to Chris Cooley.
There we go. Hi, my name is Chris Cooley. I'm a part of HCSC Supplier Diversity Program underneath Latanya Forte-Lyles, or Blue Cross Blue Shield, as you might better know. And this is actually my first time judging on one of these opportunities. So I've had the benefit of being a part of the crowd for the past 2 years. I'm very honored to be here on this panel today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. And the great thing is that all of our judges today are first-time judges for our supplier diversity pitch competition. So super excited to have all of you. So last but not least, Justin Nelson.
Hey, thanks, Jeremy. I am Justin Nelson. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I am the co-founder and president at the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Good to see friends among the fellow judging panel and suppliers among those competing. Excited to be a part of this, and congratulations to everyone that has been a part of today's program. I've heard it's been absolutely tremendous. So glad to be here and looking forward to the pitches.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Justin. I didn't really email it. I didn't get all that. So Um, Jason, you had just asked me a question about sharing screen, so how do you follow? You just want to go first. So go, Jason. We're going to get you on share screen setup. You're now co-host. So let me pull up my thingamajig. So click on one. So let me try. Jason, can you see that time? Can you see the time on my other screen, Jason?
Let's go see.
The other.
Fantastic.
I can
Yes, I
see
can.
it.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So we start it over. Okay. So soon as you see your first word, that's like.
Great. All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Jason Mamaclay. Pronouns are he, him, and I'm one of the owners of Fuzzy Logic Escape Room. Today, I'm going to talk about how we've pivoted our business model due to COVID-19 and how we hope to unlock opportunity to connect corporate teams with an evolution to our offerings. To share a little bit about my company, we started in 2017 with team building experiences both at our storefront and on site at client location with our portable games. But COVID-19 shut down both channels, forcing us to find other ways to do business. So in May, we pivoted to delivering online escape rooms through video conferencing technology, which opened us up to hosting players from all around the world from the comfort of their homes. Our work paid off as we received praise not only for the pivot, but also for how well we do it. We've received over 100 five-star reviews specifically for our online offering and earned the #1 spot as a most popular real-life escape room based on volume and quality of customer ratings on a global online escape room directory. And not pictured here, we also got a perfect 5 out of 5 rating on a very reputable escape room review site. We found great success with the individual customer, and we're starting to build traction with the corporate market. And within that, we see a growing need for connection with coworkers while remaining socially distanced. Without coming into the office, spontaneous interactions just aren't happening anymore. And according to an article in the Wall Street Journal last month, business travel is down 97% July versus the same month last year, which means that there's a big distance among global teams and business leaders. And now more than ever, companies are looking for ways to safely hold activities for their teams, especially with the holiday season coming up, but stuck with the reality that traditional options just aren't available. And of course, we all need reasons to smile, laugh, and experience joy with each other to promote camaraderie and build trust as a team. So that takes us to our decision to pivot our pivot. We've received some customer feedback in the past, including the NGLCC Sip and Pitch Friday. So big thanks to you, Justin, and your team, where I've gotten the chance to speak with corporate buyers to share their thoughts, in addition to over a dozen other independent calls that I held with company reps across a variety of industries. Some of the feedback we received were that our offering is actually priced fairly low, even though we're at a premium for the consumer side, and that impacts the perception of quality. That companies need an offering that could handle large groups at the same time, and that our brand is actually still fairly family friendly and still evokes images of in-person services. When looking at it from the competitor standpoint, a recent escape room industry report showed that there are about 2,000 escape rooms in the US, with additional numbers around the world. So that means we found only 200 companies having gone to an online market, less than 10% of providers globally having been made a pivot online. And of those, very few have the capability to actually host large groups. And some of our peers are actually actively seeking to partner with others like us to help them win larger projects too. And after trying out some of the large-scale escape room games that are out there, a lot of them feel like points and click websites that emphasize individual puzzle completion rather than live collaboration. So we saw an opportunity to reposition our company with adjusted offerings that better serve the corporate market. To do this, we'll create a flanker B2B brand to create some distance from the existing B2C brand. We'll create a new dedicated website that focuses on gathering lead contact info and providing personalized quotes. And we'll perform targeted, network-based marketing with our existing player base to connect with their workplaces and with people like yourselves, fellow chamber members, corporate partners, and advocates. And we'll also employ a gratitude award system to help drive successful referrals through those networks. Now introducing Think Quick Events, our corporate brand focused on large-scale team building through technology. By leveraging industry-specific tech to digitize the immersive experience, we'll be able to finally multiply our ability to deliver our unique flavor of gameplay that embraces diversity of thought. This propels us outside our home industry of escape rooms and repositions us well into the team building industry. And by embracing this technology, both our industry and familiar ones like Zoom, we'll be able to break through our current physical limitations and can scale at low cost. Our digital offerings will have low direct overhead, operating at a 70% margin or better, as you can see in the chart on the right, before attributing general business overhead, of course. We'll offer 3 tiers of service to our clients with price differences based on how high touch our team will be with the different breakout rooms. The first tier would use one host for a large number of breakout teams in sort of a game show type format. Teams will be presented with rounds of escape room style puzzles to solve using the power of real-time annotation through Zoom and cloud documents so that they're working live together, and they'll compete for highest scores, driving the opportunity for constant engagement, collaboration, and healthy competition throughout. The second tier would leverage an industry-specific technology that allows breakout rooms to join together on a website with a virtualized escape room and actually be able to see where each other's cursors are on the screen. It's a self-service thing that allows the host to step away from the group. So we'd be able to have maybe one host per 2 groups, really only hopping in when they feel they need help. And they'll, of course, be competing for fastest time in this regard, as well as the least amount of help that's needed. The third tier embraces our reputation for providing an immersive and interactive experience by delivering a hosted escape room game via live interaction supported by video recordings. It eliminates the need for the physical restriction of our live component currently, while still embracing and maintaining the magic of our live interaction. Once again, players work together to be able to progress through the game the fastest compared to their teammates. But because of the high touch nature of the one host to one group, it's going to be our highest tier. We recognize that by positioning in a new industry, we encounter other competitor types that are trying to get a presence into this digital market already have a well-deserved standing in there. This includes trivia show hosts who have pivoted to online games after traditional bar trivia nights are no longer a thing. Team building facilitators for company retreats, you know, like the ones that make you build a cardboard boat that hopefully could support teammates when you toss them into a pool. They're also making the transition as well. Scavenger hunt companies that had corporate teams travel around familiar stomping grounds and now needing to do that in a new light as well. And of course, immersive experience providers, including virtual reality, which already had a big stronghold in the digital space, as well as immersive theater, whose creative minds have figured out how to be able to bring their performance digitally through this online environment. We really hope that there's enough market pie out there for everyone to enjoy, and that we are all able to navigate this new space together. But looking forward into the future, our focus will be maintaining and balancing Fuzzy Logic's portable experiences and Think Quick events simultaneously. We used to support lots of conventions, including ones that specifically support the LGBT community and donated to those causes. And when they eventually come back, this new offering set will augment well what we already deliver. Not only can we offer this as a large-scale activity in addition to the portable escape games that we bring to events, but with conventions historically happening on weekends, the online corporate offering fills out the weekly schedule without much overlap or cannibalization. And after just a few projects, there will be enough profit to be able to reinvest in additional headcount and technology that'll ease operational burden on myself and my partner, which will allow us to focus more on business development and on self-care for ourselves and our relationships. Winning the pitch money from this competition will be able to really help us fast track ourselves to those goals. And we really appreciate the opportunity to earn further support from the LGBT Chamber of Commerce to be able to help us pivot our pivot. Thank you so much for the pitch today. I'll put up a slide with the lean business model canvas so we could refer to it if needed. I lead a company whose mission is to help teams break through the trance of digital screens and build connections without borders together as human beings. And I'm proving it to the world. Happy to take any questions, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason. So of course, participants, not participants, but everyone who's just here, just watching, you can also share questions, etc. But any of our judges want to share any questions or just general thoughts?
I have one, Jeremy. First of all, great presentation, very polished, very full of good information. I have the luxury of having seen you pitch on numerous occasions, and I can tell you that it just keeps getting better. This was really remarkable. Question for you. You did a nice job of outlining some of the conversations that you've had with different stakeholder groups that have brought you to where you are on the fuzzy logic side of things. Did you also road test that on the Think Quick events side? And one other question I had, just maybe if you could quickly tag it along there, is there are obviously two very distinct and different brands, but I noticed there is some collaboration that brings the two together. What was the process in coming up with your logos?
Sure, absolutely. So in full transparency, we knew that there was a need to be able to reposition our brand, and we were trying to wrestle with how we are able to still serve our consumer-facing market and address the needs and expectations of the corporate-facing market. And we just weren't able to find a way to be able to smoothly do that, since we're already receiving a lot of pressure from the consumer side that we're already priced very high compared to our competitors. The median price of other online escape room games, and maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but it's $50 flat fee for an unlimited number of connections, whereas we entered the market at $70 and then gained enough demands to warrant us increasing it to $100, and we still command a top space. However, in other feedback sessions that we've provided, that I've had the opportunity to take part in, everyone's saying, Jason, you're priced way too low. And there's no way that, I mean, I'd love to take advantage of it while the prices are low, but really there's a lot more value that's here. So in order to not anger what is currently a very strong consumer base for the Fuzzy Logic brand, the Think Quick events brand was ideated in order to be able to help us have a different and separate position. In terms of the branding and logo and such, admittedly, it's all up here. I haven't yet done enough research just quite yet in order to be able to get across the board, but I want to be able to lean on trusted partners from within this chamber, actually, to help me crack that code a bit, make sure that I'm going in the right direction to be able to find success in that arena. There's some argument to say Fuzzy Logic should be the brand that kind of drives things forward, because that's the foundation that we built everything. But we know that we can still make a very big splash in the corporate market with, effectively, Jason and Andrew, who are the creative minds behind Fuzzy Logic. Andrew's joined me here today, and I'm really grateful for his support as my business partner and life partner. It's our magic that'll really help deliver the value for our clients, whether it be customers with Fuzzy Logic or corporate with Think Quick.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Justin's questions were spot on, and I think very appropriate. I'm going to take a little bit of a left turn and ask, so as I sit in a corporate team, and it is so important to win things and then also gloat about winning those things, what kind of trophies do you see like giving to the teams that win your competitions for Think Quick events? Would be some type of certification that you just kind of like put out? Are you going to mail trophies of some kind?
Great question. So what we already do with our existing games and intend to pull through in the new corporate offerings is we actually take team photos and encourage a way to memorialize that excellent experience that everyone had together. And those photos will have your winning scores or your winning times. So no matter what, there's no escaping how well you did compared to others. But there's also no escaping how well you did as a team inherently in and of yourself. So you could still wear that with a badge of pride because it's an experience that you won't be able to get anywhere else.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. I too have seen you pitch several times and agree you get better and better each time. Given the new branch of your company, I'm thinking, at it more through the corporate lens, and since this is a pivot of a pivot, what's your time frame for driving this second offer, if you will, or second branch of your company to success? And how will you reach out to corporates to let them know now that you've got this great opportunity with Think Quick events?
Thank you so much for that, Robin. And that in and of itself actually is the biggest challenge and hurdle that we're facing right now. The timetable for being able to strike while the iron is hot is actually as we speak. We know that holiday planning usually occurs at the end of Q3, early Q4. And like I said, spend in that area is probably not going to your traditional sources. And I, as a small business, definitely want a piece of that pie. So I need to be able to get and hit the ground running. I've already bought the domain, and we're going to try to work as hard as we can, as fast as we can, to be able to develop a swift but effective go-to-market strategy. It does involve me being able to transform some of the very content that we discussed here today during the pitch into an effective and convincing pitch presentation, specifically underneath the Think Quick brand. And I'm also going to take the opportunity to be able to further test and refine the specific offerings underneath the Think Quick events by leveraging the Chamber of Commerce here, as well as other opportunities for us to be able to connect with corporate partners to be able to say, hey, try us out. We're actually, we'll give it to you at a either significant discount or even potentially for free to be able to help us evaluate what are the truly super effective components of it and what are still the needs that need to be impacted on it. We'll also, like I said, we reach out to our existing customer base who have already seen and supported our product as customers. And what better way to be able to provide value in their workplaces than to bring something that they themselves had a lot of fun with in as a wonderful suggestion to be able to connect with their teams. So our existing customer base and our existing networks will be strong, strong resources for us to be able to hit the ground running.
Thank you, Jason. So that actually leads to a question that I had about your existing customer base. Have you already taken the time to complete different surveys or analysis on what they truly have enjoyed, especially for those that have been using it during COVID-19? Have you done any type of research or data with the current customer base?
Absolutely. So in May, which when we were just initially getting started with pivoting our initial pivot online, I joined forces with about 6 other escape room owners in the Chicagoland area, where we collectively developed a survey about escape room safety and expectations for engagement, and sent it out to all of our customer lists. Now, of course, not everyone clicks on that, but we received over 570 responses, unique responses, to help us dictate what are our next steps as an industry locally here within the Chicagoland market as it relates to the different facets with online components being included and how that could potentially impact how they can connect with other family members or with their coworkers. Like I said, I also have done some initial one-on-one conversations to be able to dive into those discussions more deeply. And also seen, again, firsthand, I look through every single review that comes in on Google, Facebook, Yelp, you name it. And I'm able to see specifically what are the trends that people are saying or thanking us for delivering an exceptional experience for. I'm very thankful and grateful to reply to them and actually make it personalized and relevant for them and what they experienced. And we see people coming back for more. And they actually say during their experiences how much they enjoyed the past ones that they're so excited to come back and play for more.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jason, and all of our judges for their questions and comments. Everyone else who's just watching with us, if you have any additional sort of feedback, I don't see any clap emojis, no thumbs up emojis, no yeses in the chat section. Let Jason go.
I'll throw my own celebration in there. I got through it. Yeah.
Awesome. So next we will move to Trix Kirkpatrick. So Trix, give me co-host ability now. Unless I am overlooking our third person, Taylor, it looks like Tris may be a final contestant, but we will confirm that, I'm sure shortly. So Trix, you should be able to pull your presentation up on the screen.
Great. It's viewable, yeah?
Yes, we can see it. And then find my handy dandy countdown. Okay. So Trix, whenever you're ready.
Sweet. Hey all, my name is Trix with Move to Remember. We're a professional moving company with a mission in serving displaced and marginalized communities. We started our establishment in April of 2020, and we've worked with several clients within rehousing programs such as La Casa Norte and Heartland Alliance, which these programs have a heavy focus on housing first. They understand that Maslow's hierarchy of needs means that the stress of seeking shelter will take precedence over focusing on higher needs such as safety, financial stability, and community belonging. To offer a broader scope, for a renter to offer a modest two-bedroom apartment in Illinois, they must earn $21.30 per hour, which is well above the average wage of $16 per hour. People that cannot afford good housing also cannot afford the technology, furniture, appliance, and comforts that make so many people's homes a sort of oasis in their busy, stressful lives. Sorry about that. In February, we were all asked to quarantine and stay indoors for an indeterminate amount of time, and these comforts became necessities more than luxuries. Our homes became lifeboats in a storm of uncertainty. For people that couldn't afford this good housing, their homes became jail cells. They felt trapped, stuck, in prison. It put a spotlight on what they lacked. And the same system that directly or indirectly rendered their homes uninhabitable was now asking them to reside in their homes around the clock. These same people made up the essential workforce of delivery drivers, Amazon employees, grocery store clerks. It put them at a greater risk during the pandemic, and that those who could comfortably quarantine relied on these essential workers to sustain themselves on their lifeboats. In essence, COVID-19 shed a light on structural factors that show the health disparities for low-income neighborhoods and communities of color. According to the Metropolitan Tenants Organization, calls about illegal lockouts had doubled this summer over last year's average. Despite moratoriums, low-income households are facing pending evictions and the pressure of landlord retaliation. When these moratoriums will be lifted at the end of the year, it's important to note that despite the prolongation of evictions, clients' eviction case will only see 90 seconds before a judge, which is less than the time I've been speaking so far. That leaves the question, where is the humanity? Now, studies consistently have shown that moving is one of life's top stressors, and during this time when people are barely staying afloat, they're forced to be put through the stressors of relocating. Now, when the pervasive feeling of survivalism dominates a community, it can be difficult to climb higher on the hierarchy of needs. And that's where our Move to Remember plans to step in. Now, we want to be a nexus between services to support clients that need it most. The more clients we've worked with, we understand that we're a bridge in the economic gap. And we've been continually developing our brand over the last year. Prior, we thought that the emphasis on grassroots support looked like graffiti and city imagery, but it didn't seem to communicate the impact of our services for our clients. So we've been rebranding our logo into this life preserver ring that communicates how we cater to the individual's needs, seek out community resources, and provide buoyancy or a light and easy relocation process. Our first solutions in response to COVID-19 address mainly the physical limitations set forth by social distancing. Our solutions included an interactive online intake form, which we have been continually fine-tuning, an emergency move form, which has mainly been used in response for domestic violence cases, a form section that addressed COVID-19 concerns and accessibility accommodations. We offered contactless solutions for immunocompromised folks, and we required all our workers to wear PPE on job sites. Now, programs where mandatory policies to ensure face-to-face contact have been exploring telehealth services, which has been reimagining the field for caseworkers. Now ATR becomes the first face-to-face contact from organizations for clients since March. Telecommunication services limit the ability to address cleanliness, acquiring packing supplies, receiving packing education, and the physical support that client might need during the move. It also limits people having transportation logistics served for them, which we've now integrated offering rideshare accommodations for our clients in these housing programs. We're further exploring resources to surpass barriers of communication during emergency moves, which might look like streaming video calling with a caseworker or recording moves with the client's permission in order to protect the client in case further legal action is needed. I want to focus on two specific cases we've worked with using pseudonyms, of course. Sarah, a single mother who was hospitalized for an extended period of time, returned to their home, and she was faced with a robbery. Without the comforts of her home and feeling unsafe, she called on us to help. She needed assistance with walking through the form over the phone for accessibility reasons, but we got her through it and we were ready to jump in. But then her check with her housing program bounced. She lost that home, and we had to wait a whole month before we moved her into a lower quality housing. Vivian, who was a mother of two in the south side of Chicago, really wanted to take care of her kids and complete her move out with her landlord before heading to her new apartment. She just wanted to be a good tenant. She sent her partner to meet us, but due to a miscommunication between her partner and us or negligence, we weren't inside her new apartment for about an hour. This then escalated an argument between them when she arrived, which is pretty natural given the circumstances of how stressful moving is. Overall, for our clients, we provided a non-judgmental space in working with movers for their first time. We understand the importance that clients in housing programs are paired with caseworkers who support them in learning life skills, which look like core basic skills, independent living skills, and social skills. Now, online goal-oriented case management tools are proven to be effective in building relationships of trust that are motivational to meeting a low-income participant's employment goals. We want to turn that and create a goal-oriented tool for our clients that experience out of the ordinary or first-time moves to empower and motivate them to understand the moving field and how to safely move from one location to another. This would serve more than just our clients in rehousing programs because about 25 to 35% of our clients in the LGBT community hire us as their first-time movers just based on the understanding that we're involved within the community. Things that we want to communicate on an educational basis with the case manager and the client runs down as so. Skill sets with the caseworker include logistical order of the moving process for client, providing packing size supplies to the organization through a zero waste supplies method, communication tactics to de-escalate the stress during the move, communicating how AMTR responds to safety concerns, which looks like including the caseworker in de-escalation versus the police, and safety planning with the caseworker. Skill sets we want to address with the client look like education on preparation, which includes cleanliness, mail forwarding, all the little tidbits that just run down on your to-do list, educating them on how to pack their items via short instructional videos, communication tactics for client and landlord operations, such as move in, move out procedures, communication tactics between clients and caseworkers, having the clients be present in the moves, and communication between the clients and movers. We want to help them understand the responsibilities of the client versus the mover, which, for example, would include things like trash cleanup and removal. We also want to address safety concerns with our clients as well, and we want to empower them through this process so they don't just feel helpless through an emergency move. Our current interactive forums for clients and the housing programs have been our current method for researching and testing what will work for all parties involved and what clients understand or don't understand about the moving process. Our new modules would be created in a format that would empower the client who would utilize our movement services, which will look like an online training series or potentially a paperback manual for those who lack access to technology. We want to make our modules as accessible as possible. We would use our modules as a marketing tool to build partnerships and assist in securing contracts with housing programs within the city of Chicago. Now, by doing this, we're essentially going above and beyond the competition. Most moving companies don't have a social justice initiative unless they're also LGBT identified. By empathizing with our clients and their situations, we're ensuring that these communities feel supported. Most moving companies don't take risks as low as moving items in trash bags, which most of our housing clients have done, and can withhold deposits from communities already dealing with a tight budget. Being a moving company with a social justice initiative, we strive for safety. We're preparing our clients by having a third-party safety net, and we're training our movers with safety planning and harm reduction trainings to allow us to take on the work that we do. Now, we're often asked how we're creating a profitable business and we're putting clients before profits. AMTR believes that our empathy and involvement in supporting our clients has led to more financial success than less. Briefly touching upon our financial overview, with a team of 10 to 15 employees, we've averaged 30,000 gross sales over the summer, which is a big step since our inception in April. Emergency moves and sliding scale discounts that we've taken on versus housing programs has only accounted for less than 5% of our costs. Losses within the company have accounted for about 5 to 7, and the dominating cost of our company as it stands is due to our rental contracts with the box trucks we operate with. Which is why our primary focus is to secure box truck with a marketing campaign that will likely look like a Kickstarter, expanding our packing services so that way we can offer this low risk, high reward service to provide a strong revenue growth, fortifying our training standards for both our movers and building those modules from scratch for our clients within housing programs, and planning for the potential of the HUD eviction moratorium being lifted at the end of the year in the same fashion we would plan for a summer season, building a core team that's there to support and uptake in moving requests as they come in. We've always been a company focused on restoring power to our communities, and we're excited to further expand on this mission in years to come. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Trix. Great job. Again, everyone, use those emoticons, not emoticons, reactions. And for our judges, any thoughts, questions, feedback for Trix?
I have some, but I don't want to be the one to go first again, but I will if no one else is going to jump in. First of all, Trix, thank you so much. And thanks for the work that you do. I was thinking to myself, here you've taken something that so many of us take for granted every day, or that we may not even think of as being a business with a heart, and you've given it heart, and that's really remarkable. And especially in current circumstances, we need more of that. So thank you for that. One thing I was a little confused in, I think I know the answer, but hopefully you can shed some light. Is your business model solely focused around individuals or families in housing programs, or that is an element of what you do? I was a little confused on that element, so maybe if you could shed some light.
Yeah, totally. That's just an element of what we do, and that was my main focus for the pitch. But overall, we provide professional moving and packing services for communities at large. But given basically customer feedback and just customer experience throughout my experience as a mover prior to building AMTR, we understand that a lot of moving companies are not necessarily gender affirming companies, or they can be quite judgmental for polyamorous households or sex and kink friendly households. So our company has a strong component with a focus in providing inclusive services.
And can I ask just one quick follow-up? Not to hog the time. First of all, I think it's really smart. I mean, I think that the whole idea about being able to target your audience for moving is great. I would absolutely hire someone that I knew to be LGBT or LGBT friendly. I think it's smart. I think one thing, maybe this is more of a comment than a question. I would share that side of things because I would have liked to have known what your overall strategy is, what your overall profit is, how you're marketing this to the community at large. I think the program that you just outlined there would make me much more likely to choose you over your competitor that also may tailor services to the LGBT community, because I know you're giving back in a way to communities that are hardest hit right now. So just a couple of things to think about there.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Good work.
Justin?
And then Trix, I'm kind of curious to see what your forecast is for revenue in the coming months, maybe if we can be so bold, year. I did notice within your slide that September was very low in revenue, and I don't know if that's just because it hasn't been realized yet because we're still in the month of September, or what. But it seems like you had a very strong surge in the very beginning, and you've been able to maintain that, which is very impressive.
Yeah, totally. For transparency, our drop in September came with a lot of things. We haven't hit our peak week this next week, which I think accounts for a little bit of an uptick. But three things that September kind of brought with us was with the slowdown of the season, we really wanted to take a moment to really focus on our operations and kind of reset. In April, I don't think any of us expected to have grown so quickly. And that uptick was primarily through word of mouth. We haven't marketed any of our services for 2 months. So now we're hitting the slow season and we're realizing we have to step back and look at our operations, look at a really good marketing strategy and bring that back up. We had tested out co-ownership during the summer, which didn't really work out, and a couple of our team leads took a couple vacations. So that surge was basically a reset, and we're hoping to bring it back up for the next year. But during the slow season, we do expect a drop. I think that the drop would not be as low as it is for September. I think we're hoping for no more than a 30% drop of the summer months, but we want to build up these core teams so that way next summer we can try and double our sales, with the hopes that things will be lifted. Well, regardless of things being lifted, but with the hopes that if things are lifted, or at least that we have built up that marketing, that we can double what we've done this summer with just the word of mouth we had.
Shoot, double? I mean, I could see triple. I don't know. I think that there's strong opportunity. So yeah, don't settle for doubling.
That's fair. Thank you.
Hi, Trix. Thank you so much. That was phenomenal. So I have a question in regards to your current staff that's been doing a lot of the moving. Are you looking to scale that aspect of it? Because I know that there are a lot of people that are looking for jobs currently. Or can you just share a little bit about your strategy around how you currently find staff for that piece?
Yeah, currently we've posted within the community to give jobs, to provide jobs within the community, and that looks like posted on the Chicago Queer Job Board. A lot of our marketing in general has been revolved around Facebook groups that are queer oriented, or oriented towards people of color, and so we're working towards garnishing that. Right now, it's sort of our employment models almost looks like a ladder. We're when we hire new movers, the movers that we've had who can drive, we've tried to scale up to be team leads. And then the team leads we've had since the beginning, we really want to scale up to be kind of managers of these divisions. And I know that's not abnormal, but with this, we are kind of taking our time to slowly train people, at least the people that we have on the core teams right now, which is why our scaling up our sizes has been so slow, mainly because I personally want to make sure that everyone is sort of on the same page within ensuring that we are affirming to our clients, that people understand the process and just the standards of operations of our moves. And so with building that with our core team and further flushing that out this month, then it would feel safer to just be able to hire anyone off the street to join us and understand like what our core values are. We are very transparent when we hire people that our core values include being affirming, but that our core values also include having non-judgmental experiences. We ask our workers whether or not they feel comfortable working in some of our housing program cases, for example, where they might show up and things might not be as clean as they would like or not as organized, because we do want to be both transparent with the workers and we want that sort of consent.
Thank you.
What kind of insurance I'm sorry, I apologize.
Sorry.
Robin, was that you?
Yeah, I was going to ask Trix, thanks very much for your presentation. I'm interested to know, how did you come to choose, it seems like there's a couple of big players, whether they're local or national, and they tend to dominate the market. So I imagine it's pretty competitive.
I missed the first part of your question. It cut out for a second. I'm sorry.
So I was curious, how did you this industry? What drew you to it?
Oh, there's a couple of like personal things that drew me to it, and they date back to 2016 when I dealt with my own bed bug move. I felt pretty helpless and pretty out of place, and had a couple friends who helped me through it, but it propelled me to just be a mover for a quick, easy cash. I did the TaskRabbit thing, and then I just like hopped on Chicago Queer Exchange. It was like, I can move your stuff. I can be a cleaner. I can do this. I can do that. And I kind of became a roustabout gig worker. But then the more moves I did, and then a year later, I traveled with the circus and was doing moves on the road. The more moves I did across the country, the more I understood how like unfair a lot of the situations people go through when they are forced to relocate, with unfair evictions, with breakups, with all these extra stressors that like, I guess just like the compassion of understanding and the physical ability to move people really brought me to like, has driven just like this passion to start this company.
I think that's a great component of the overall story. You shared a lot of slides which had a lot of verbiage on it, but if you were comfortable enough when pitching to others, weave some of your own personal stories as to why you came here, and that then conveys your passion for doing this and why you want to help others.
Robin, was probably the best question and best answer that we've heard. I think that's spot on. Your story right there even tells just more, would make me more inclined to want to use your services. I think it's, people want to know about a founder's story. Why are you passionate? What gets you up? What makes you, want to go and do what you do? So make sure, to the extent that you're comfortable doing it, that your story is a part of it. People will respond to it. I had one final question for me anyway. So it's just, I don't know really anything about housing programs and how it's assigned in terms of moving to and from. Are you paid by the client or by the city, or the client is given an amount to utilize for moving services from the city that are part of the housing program, is sort of the first part? And then is there an additional incentive for speed at which you're moving someone, or cleanliness of how the apartments left? Because you did mention a couple of things in there around your tutorials about how to move and pack and how to leave a place in better condition. I'm just curious if there's any incentives that go along with that.
Yeah. So in terms of payment, we, with the housing programs, the housing program usually has a sort of budget, and that comes from potentially multiple places, which mostly come from government funding. Whether some of it is pulled from the actual client's own funding, depending on the program that the client's in, and some of the funds are pulled from the actual housing program. The incentive of speediness essentially comes from the ability of being an affordable company, I guess, for these clients. And by clients, I guess I mean programs, where they'll want to utilize us more because they're able to use more of their budget with us. One program, for example, used to have movers that were not super gender affirming, but also would one time be $350 for a move and one time be $750 for a move, even though the moves looked comparatively roughly the same. And so for us, the incentive to offer a speedy service is to basically secure continuous moves. For the client, if the client is pulling the money from their funds, depending on the program they are at, which their funds would come from DCFS, that's another incentive of that client being able to have more of that resource for the rest of their year. As far as cleanliness and incentives in that, for us to educate these clients, a lot of companies, at least for our clients at large, maybe not necessarily speaking for just our housing programs, but our clients are large. Landlords usually typically have a move in, move out process and can sometimes charge some astronomical fees for a move out process if things are not left in the order that they need to be, that they were found in. One example would be that I cleaned someone's apartment before, and their list had about 100 different aspects of each room, which goes down to how clean the blinds are and how clean like the top of someone's refrigerator is. So, and a different fee for each individual piece.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any final questions or thoughts from our judges? Okay, sounds good. So we've got a few minutes while I look at all this good info and come back to us. So with that, we'd love to have the opportunity for all of us to learn more about some of the services and resources that our judges are able to offer to folks here with us today. So I'll start with the folks that we haven't heard from earlier on today. So Kendra, if you don't mind going first for us, could you let us know a little bit more about Sharpest Hub and how folks can get connected with you there?
Sure, definitely. Thank you again for allowing me to join. And so, as I mentioned earlier, ShyBiz Hub is a fairly newer initiative to World Business Chicago. So we are about 1.5 years old. And the goal for ShyBiz Hub is for entrepreneurs and business owners to have a one-stop shop via an online portal. So the LGBT Chamber of Commerce is one of the business resource providers that is listed with us. So to date, we have 170 service providers that are on our hub throughout the Chicago area. And we now are offering an online service where we offer webinars. And so the webinars are actually based upon feedback that we've received from the entrepreneur community, as well as some of our business resource providers that have shared some challenges that business owners have had. So one, you can visit www.shybizhub.com. And on our ShyBiz Hub page, we have a COVID-19 resource page where all of our ShyBiz Hub webinars, past and present, are listed. So if you've missed a webinar, you can always take a listen to the previous webinars, and then you'll see upcoming webinars as well. And then two, what we do is we still send out our newsletters, and we have our e-blasts that go out every week. And so we really try to flush out. We know that everybody gets so much information. So we want people to have information in a timely fashion. We heard from, again, our community, people were not applying for different grants or loans just because they were overwhelmed. They didn't know where to go to get the information. So you'll see that we try to prioritize some of the upcoming loans and grants that business owners can apply for. And in our newsletters, we really try to provide a clear idea of what some of the entrepreneurs are doing that have been open. So we actually do spotlights. And so we've been interviewing entrepreneurs and business resource providers on their journey to share what they've done to pivot, and just really being a person or if there's people that actually share how they've been able to stay open. So we want to highlight those stories. We get a lot of negative press about things, but there are people that are still doing positive things during these times. So we want to continue to highlight that. So if you're on social media, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as Instagram. And so you can take a look at our pages. We have all of our spotlights listed on there as well.
So much, Kendra. They've definitely been a shy biz of us, been a great part of our chamber. Definitely does a fantastic job of promoting our events and inviting us new partners to activities that you have. So definitely thank you for including us in those opportunities. Almost 25% down. I got one score, waiting on 3 more. So Justin, we'll turn it over to you. Can you tell us a little bit more about all the great things available from NGLCC?
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy. So I mentioned early on, I'm the co-founder and president of the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. Our real backbone program, and I'm so pleased to see so many of our certified suppliers on the call today, is around procurement. It's around connecting LGBT-owned companies with corporations, largely a growing number of states, cities, and municipalities, including the great work that Jeremy and the team did in Chicago. But the real reality is giving an opportunity for our community businesses to get to the starting line. You know, it's not our job to win the contract for you, but it is our job to get you the opportunity to bid, where we had been left out for so many years. I'm really pleased to say that we're now up nearing 300 of the Fortune 500 that accept our certification. We are the exclusive third-party certifying body for LGBT-owned companies. To be certified, you need to be at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled by an LGBT person or persons. And this is similar whether you're seeking LGBT, women's certification, ethnic minority, disability, veteran, or if you are that amazing business owner that happens to be every one of those, we want you certified by everybody as well. And so I am pleased to say that, you know, I really thought that we would see potentially some putting on of the brakes during the last few months of COVID. We've actually seen an acceleration of interest from corporations. So the time is now to get certified. The Illinois Chamber is your direct link. They are our exclusive in-market partner. So if you're a member of the Illinois Chamber, your certification is a part of your membership benefit. And I'm not sure what exact level that is, but at some level it is that. We waive the fee if you're a member of the Illinois Chamber. And it is just a remarkable way not only to sort of stand in solidarity, as I like to call us, the ma and pa shops, but to show that we are amazing businesses in every commodity group. I mean, we have aerospace, we have engineering, we have construction, marketing, we have everything. If you take a slice of small business America, you have a slice of LGBT America. And I often tout that as red-blooded tax-paying Americans, we should have the right and responsibility to bid on taxpayer-funded contracts. So that's a major issue that we'll continue to fight for. And if I may be so bold to say, perhaps in a new administration come the new year. So I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to be here, to Jeremy, not only for his work at the Illinois Chamber, but as being one of our regional affiliate Chamber Council co-chairs, and congrats to everyone that pitched today. I always am inspired when I get the invitation to participate in these affiliate events, because I see the entrepreneurship and the hunger and the excitement that is out there, and just the raw talent in our LGBT entrepreneurs. So thanks. And if you want to learn more about certification, if you yourself are a business owner, you know a business owner, visit www.nglcc.org, and we have a team of folks that will help you through the process, answer any of your questions, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kendra and Justin. I know earlier, Chris and Robin, you were able to share some information in our networking session, so thank you for letting folks know how to connect with you there. So one cool thing that we didn't promote, but we had planned to do, We are offering a second place prize as well. So the good thing about us having two people today is that it worked out. So thank you to you two for showing up. I do have, I'll email both participants the feedback forms or the information that we got back, so you'll be able to see any thoughts that people had for you. With two scores, one at 120 and another score at 102. I don't know if I should, if I do it like Miss America, like you say the second place, you just know who first place prize is. So I don't know which one seems more dramatic at this moment. So we'll just, so our second place, yeah, I see the drum rolls. So with a score of 102, with a prize of $500, goes to Trix Kirkpatrick, a move to remember. Congratulations, Trix. Super excited for you. So one thing that I didn't share before Trix started, because I didn't want to add any of my, I didn't want to sway the vote. Trix was one of our graduates from our 2019 boot camp, which was just last year. So Trix was our very first cohort. So it is absolutely amazing to see Trix how far you've come in not even a full year's time. So I don't know if you see Christina on here. We've been texting back and forth this whole time. Both very much so excited for you. So very much congratulations. My first place prize with a score of 120 goes to Jason Mama Clay from Fuzzy Logic Escape Room. So you heard some of the feedback. Yeah, there you go, claps and snaps. So you heard, of course, the feedback that folks gave you earlier. As you do, just tend to keep getting better at these pitches. So it's very awesome that you continue to go ahead and continue to try. So I encourage everyone to do that. I know a lot of times we have conversations with people about participating in pitch competitions, and people are like, oh, I don't know, I'm not ready, I don't know what to say. But you just got to do it. Just do it one time. You'll get some feedback, and from there, you'll have everything that you need to get going and to be successful. At the very least, I like to tell everyone that it gives you an opportunity for very much great exposure. You were just able to connect with other business owners on this call. You were able to pitch in front of Justin, who knows hundreds of corporate people, other chambers across this country. Chris works at Blue Cross Blue Shield, where there are thousands of people who work there. Of course, they need to be doing teamwork things. Of course, he needs to be telling people to move. And so there are opportunities for everyone to just present yourself and make some magic happen afterwards. And so I'm super proud of both of you. Huge thanks to both of you for participating, and congratulations on your work here today. So it has been quite a day. I didn't see any of you eating. I didn't eat anything, so I'm super hungry. So that's what my next step is going to be after we leave from here. I want to thank all of you again for joining us. It looks like we had two people to participate in our social media challenge from the day. Hannah from, I'm making names, Hillary from our group. Be on the lookout for some more information, and also Jason will be reaching out to you also to share a prize there as well. This has been a really incredible day. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it over at Baker McKenzie in person like we traditionally do, but I hope that even in this virtual world, all of you were able to take away some really, really great content and some information to help you move forward. Another final thank you to our Supplier Diversity Committee, John and Robin, for helping to create this day and make sure everything was super awesome. Other than that, I look forward to seeing all of you in the future. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and best of luck to everyone as you continue to move forward and create those opportunities. See you all soon. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.